want to show you guys the eyeshadow palette that I got. How exciting. I got a Norvina palette. I actually really do love the packaging of this design. Out of all her Norvina palettes, this is the most aesthetically pleasing to me, and of course all the colorful shades. Isn't this palette calling my name or what? I'm very excited to play with this. I also got the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. I talk about how I'm super inspired by this palette. I have a 3 looks inspired by this palette. I gotta take advantage of the sale. Honestly, I was swatching the metallics. They're a little, I don't know, not as impactful, and they're just a little subtle. I don't know yet. We have to put it on the eyes and see what's going on. I mean, this corner is basically what inspired a lot of my looks, especially this shade. So I am excited to, you know, create more looks with this palette for sure. Okay, as far as the complexion product, I do have a lot. I mean, I got kind of sucked into the complexion this year. I have the Rare Beauty, which I already reviewed. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. Those videos are already up. If you guys want to see the pores, you want to see close-up and my thoughts, click on my previous video. Also, I have been testing out the Dior concealer. I have the KVD concealer. I bought the NARS concealer, pot concealer I've never tried before. So I kind of went ham on complexion product. I have the Armani Luminous Silk concealer. I have the Rose Ink that you guys really wanted to see on my skin. I have the Tower 28. Some of you guys DM me about it. And I also have the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation that I have been eyeing on for the longest time. So yeah, we have a lot here, mostly complexion and some eyeshadows. So I'm going to get started. Okay, I'm just going to hydrate my lips really quickly with the Patrita Pumpkin Gloss. I love this stuff for hydrate my really dry lips really quickly. I'm toning my skin really quickly, and I also have some samples that I got before and I never tried, so I thought, you know what, let's do like the whole new products. I have this like Petite and Pretty 9021 Glow. It's like a glowy lotion, I would say. I don't know, I've never tried it before, so I thought I can use this to kind of prime the skin and see what kind of glow that it gives. It feels really nice and hydrated. Let me see. Wow, the primer actually is really nice. I feel like my skin just drank some water. The Rose Ink, let's check it out. I kind of swatch it at the back of my hand. I'm still not sure how I feel about this. But it's very sheer. This shade may be a little, well, yeah, it's definitely very sheared. I got the shade 30. Doesn't look too bad actually. I also have the Tower 28, which you guys really wanted to see. I did a poll on Instagram. You guys wanted to see this one as well. Okay, it looks kind of promising. The shade might be, okay, the shade actually looks pretty promising. Oh yeah, okay, I think we're going to test out the Tower 28. I'm gonna leave the NARS to probably a different video. Yeah, I'm excited, let's go in. This actually might work. I kind of like the consistency. I'm squeezing out a little more. This actually kind of seems a little promising, eh? I'm just gonna blend things out with a sponge first. Wow. This is my first time trying anything from Tower 28. I also actually purchased the lip and cheek in the shade, their lip gloss and their like cream blush set in the shade, is it Magic Hour? Or Golden Hour, one of those, you know? but it's out of stock, so they canceled my order. So that's a little unfortunate. I've been meaning to try more Tower 28 stuff. Okay, I think probably 3 squeeze. This is like the first layer with 2 squeeze. I haven't done my forehead just yet, so I want to see like how much. Okay, this is just the first layer. I do want to build it up and see what the deal is. I would say this is like giving me light coverage, light to medium. I want to see if I can build it up any more. This is like a light coverage with glowy finish, which is right up in my alley. Yeah, I am going to, let's go ahead and build some more. I really see the potential of this skin tint. It kind of reminds me of Beauty Blender Bounce in the way that it is like a glowy finish. And I do like my skin, how my skin look in this. Ooh, it is so pretty. Wow, I love the glow. Okay, also for the concealer, I actually do have the KVD Vegan Beauty Concealer. This one though, the Good Apple, this one, the shade is just a hot mess. This is like, basically like a super duper pale shade, and the coverage is insane. If you haven't seen my Instagram story, I did post a story on the KVD. The coverage is like crazy high coverage. I don't think it's gonna really go with this look, and also the shade is just like 2 shades too light. I don't understand like their shade system. This is light 105. Supposedly normally like the 5th or the 6th shade is supposed to work, but I do feel like their shades run pretty light. So the Dior, should we give Dior another try? I've been trying this for the past 3-4 days, so maybe I'll just give it another go since it is pretty light coverage. Yeah, let's give Dior another go. Okay, so let's go into the Dior, which opens up like this. I heard so many good things about this concealer, and I'm a little confused as to like why. There is that rose water type of a scent. It's kind of faint, so I'm not super duper mad at it. The texture of this concealer is actually very watery. It's one of those like watery texture. And I am going to lightly press it out. The coverage is definitely light. This is in the shade 0W. It might also be too light for me anyway. The shade selection was just not 100% this time around. I don't know what's going on with these shades from the brand. But I also feel like once you blend the concealer out, sometimes you see there's still dark circles. So normally I still like to go to like a color corrector when it comes to concealer that's a little on the lighter coverage side. Okay, I just apply one more dot because the coverage is just not enough. I'm going to use the Rare Beauty concealer brush, which I actually do purchase more of the concealer brush because I really do feel like it keeps the coverage of my concealer. Okay, that's a little better. I'm not gonna go too crazy because I still do want to, you know, do a wear test today since I'm going out in a little bit. So that's what it looks like. It does settle into the lines, you see. And I set it yesterday with the powder. It just didn't look great. So I'm not gonna set it too much today. Okay, I'm going to set it with my Joe Stewart powder. This powder is so finely milled. I'm using my Weartest 05. Use the Mirror Skin Complexion Stick. I think I'm gonna do my brows last. Today we're going for the Norvina palette. I'm not going to do too much of a crazy colorful look. I'm going out tonight with some friends, so I don't want to like overdo it. But I do want to test out the formula because I actually never have tried any Norvina palette. I'm dipping to A1, just like a white shadow to kind of set, just to see the pigmentation. Using Ariel A20. I just want to see how this formula is. I'm just lightly sweeping things over. I'm not trying to go too insane today with the color. Watch me say that and it turns out to be like a crazy smoky eye or colorful look. Okay, so I'm looking at the brown. For some reason, I do want to use the brown today. I'm going to the Ariel A29. Let's see what the color is looking like. Because I'm thinking about like, ooh, wow, the pigmentation of this. She's not kidding. It is very nice. Wow. Alright, I'm dipping back to the white just because this is a little intense. So I'm thinking like maybe we can shade it out with the white. Kind of soften the edges a little. Let's do the light purple. This C4 shade. Seems like a really pretty shade. Let's do that. I'm gonna pack on the eyelid above the crease. Just want to see what it turns out. Because purple like this normally are not very simple to make. It's either very ashy or... Back to the brown and the white. I want to kind of shade it a little bit on the outer V. Just kind of like feather things in. I'm gonna drag the color out. These pigment packs a punch, so make sure you go in with like a light hand. Don't over dab it. And I do feel like this shade, even though it kind of looks brown in the pen, but it's actually like a reddish purpley brown. Okay, I'm taking more of the purple, C4. I'm using Ariel's A20. And just continue to kind of buff out the edges and build a little bit. I do want to create like a gradient type of effect. I think for the inner corner part, I'm gonna go into D4. It's very, seems like a bright type of pink. Whoa, the pigment is strong. I honestly only go like this. This is all I do on the shade C4, and it really just picks up a lot. But don't worry, we're going to soften the edges in a little bit. Okay, let's go into E2. Continue to E2. And just to add back the depth. Okay, I'm going to kind of intensify the center of my eyes. I don't know, I feel like the shade is not what I was expecting, so I am going to just use my finger and pack on the shade C2. Ooh, I love this shade. I love this color. This color reminds me of that ColourPop single eyeshadow in the shade Piece of Cake. The shade I have been using in my Pastel palette inspo. For some reason, I feel like the pigment is It is pigmented, but I kind of feel like... I don't know, I'm gonna reserve my thoughts later, but I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna add some A1 white eyeshadow on the inner corner to kind of brighten the inner corner. Okay, let's go into E2, continue to E2. Okay, so for this part of my eye, I am going to dig into the shade D1. It's like a pretty bright orange. I just want to pop it here. This shade is so pretty. It's like a bright neon. Back to the shade E2. You see, when you blend this shade out, it looks so purple. But when you look in the pan, it looks like a brown. I'm gonna build this color up ever so slightly. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, sometimes when I look at the color in the pan, when it doesn't translate, it's a little, I don't know. That's why I like to swatch the shades out on my arms, you know, to really get what the actual shade look like, you know. Just a little thing that I noticed about this palette, it doesn't really translate this shade. Let me show you what this shade look like. Does it look like a brown though? It looks brown, but on my eyes, it's a purple. Really deep purple brown. I do think I want to define this part just ever so slightly. I'm going back to E2 again. And just kind of trace this line over. Okay, I just went back to D4 to add the color back. Just ever so slightly. Guys, this is the finished full face. For the waterline today, I went to the cream gel liner in the shade Amethyst Hour. For the finishing touches, I added this shade mixed with the white on the brow bone, and I really love how this eye look came out. At first, I was like, what the hell am I doing? And I'm really glad that everything came together. As far as the blendability of this palette, so far so good. I haven't really noticed any issue. But I will say though, like I did have a little bit of a trouble kind of packing on and blending the color. It might because I didn't really prime the eyes with like a eyeshadow primer. I just used a normal like concealers and stuff. So I will keep an eye on that. But other than that, everything blended out really nicely. I enjoy the color story as always. A colorful palette is always my kind of palette. So yeah, I really feel like I'm very inspired by the color story. So far, really do enjoy this. We'll definitely have to create more looks with it. As far as the skin goes, so far, I really enjoy how the skin came out. This one really reminds me of the Beauty Blender Bounce in like the finishes and stuff. The coverage light to medium. I feel like I can build it to like a light medium situation. It provides me a little bit more coverage than the Rare Beauty. If you have not seen that review, I'm going to link you to it. And we'll start a wear test on the skin portion. I might take this eye off just because it might be a little too much for dinner, but definitely doing a wear test on the complexion product. It is currently 6:41. I will be back and do a check-in and let you know how everything were. We'll start the wear test at around 5:30 p.m. and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Guys, we are about a good 4.5 hours. I'm gonna go to a lighting that's not like as good so you guys can see the face. I mean, I feel like as a tinted moisturizer, it actually doesn't really perform that bad. It's up quite well. I'm actually really surprised that yeah, my face is looking actually pretty good. And as far as the eyeshadow goes, it holds up. There is no glitter primer or eyeshadow primer. 4.5 hours, it does hold. Yeah, the makeup holds up pretty well. As far as like a tinted moisturizer goes, I will say so far so good. And I'll see you guys back home. Hey guys, so I want to do a final check-in. It is currently, guess, it's 5:24 a.m. We're currently like a good 12-hour wear test. Let me know down in the comments if you guys will appreciate like a full day wear test at the end of a full face. I plan to do more on like a full day and a full face on trying new products. Honestly, from afar, it doesn't look too bad, huh? Power 28 skin tint actually holds up quite well, I would say. When I check in on hour 6, it still hold up pretty well. But I will say the overall appearance of the skin is not amazing. At least like you can still see the line has settled on my smile lines. Around the nose is pretty much beat up. And it definitely has settled into the fine lines. I will have to wear it again to give you guys more of like a in-depth thoughts. As far as my concealer goes, yeah, I just feel like it creases quite a bit. It did hold up. I can't say it didn't hold up. It did really hold up. For 12 hours on a light coverage concealer, I'm not super duper mad at it. But yeah, it definitely has like some creases. It didn't look the prettiest, but it didn't perform like terribly. At least it still holds up, right? I'm pretty amazed at the fact that my eyeshadow are still on, even though there are some creases still, you know, it still creases. 12 hours, I'm not uber mad at the fact that there are some creases on the eyeshadow. The rest of the color pretty much stayed. So that is kind of cool. Yeah, let me know down below if you guys want more full face plus the wear test. I'll be happy to do more wear tests like this. I will be really happy to do more wear tests like this and show you guys what my makeup look like at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it for today. So far everything looks good. I'll definitely be testing out more in the following videos and give you guys a full update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have not subscribed, I would really love for you to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.